Yo, what's up, everybody? It's King Hitman here. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope you guys are ready to talk Dokkan. Now we have Cody the Genius here. It says Cody the Genius, if I can read correctly. But anyway, we have him here. He's very informative. I trust this guy. He's informed me multiple times, or at least informed the Twitter community for Dokkan multiple times on certain stuff that's upcoming in the game. Now, this right here is for the revival skill or revival mechanic. It says what Cody's saying is it plays an animation that fits under, you guessed it, the KO or death screen animation, and you will revive yourself. Now, the way it is, it's not as simple as turn, or at least he says later on, it's not as simple as you get hit with a super attack as the very first attack in the battle, take 400k and you die and it'll always activate. Everybody seems to have different conditions. It's like transformation. Not everybody is one and the same. And listen, I don't like this mechanic so far. It's the idea of forcing yourself to die for it. I just, you guys, I know it's hype right now, but you guys have got to like see where I'm coming from at least. But let's get into it. Like I said, it's under the KO/death screen animation. It'll trigger that animation and you will revive yourself. It's technically a variant of dying. But anyway, it will play upon death. A certain cut-in will play, animation will play. I'm sure UI Goku is going to be like when he had that white glow around him. Like you couldn't even see his eyes. Then he jumps over Jiren or glides over Jiren, whatever you want to call it. Then he turns into complete mastered UI Goku. It'll be something like that for the 6th-year anniversary. But anyway, there are certain bosses that can use and disable revive. So that's interesting that they can use it. I did expect certain bosses to be able to disable a mechanic like that. I'm really surprised they don't have bosses that disable transformations. Like really, I thought they would have done it by now if you asked me when the mechanic first came out. I'm just surprised. But I mean, transformations seem to be some people, well, it's definitely a lot of people's favorite aspect of the game right now. So I guess I don't blame them for not wanting to touch it. But anyway, he says the revival skills are a counter to show the buildup of the revival. What I was saying, certain people have or everybody will have conditions. For example, Vegeta. Oh no, excuse me. Before I get to that, he's saying it's not as simple as you die and revive. Like I said, you have to build up to it. Once it activates, it can change the entire card art, just like a transformation would, such as adding a Pycon to a Goku and Vegeta unit. You know, when he was stalling Janemba, it'll add that to a card art to represent that you have used the revival. Now, I'm sure this doesn't matter to most of you guys, so I'm just trying to skim through it. You can see the card costume and how certain units, certain units sprites will change, like their animations, their costumes, stuff like that will change. He even says it can change down to the quote, like the way, like what they say in their super attack, stuff like that. I'm sure they have voice lines in the transformation for certain ones, but I guess remains to be seen. Now, what he said, but you can preview, I don't know if I said this already, you can preview the card costume animation change in the scouter section of the banner. Now, with this certain, like I said, certain characters would have to trigger the animation through certain conditions. Example, if there was a blue evolution Vegeta, hint, hint, I doubt this is the condition, but he knows what he's saying. If there was a blue evolution Vegeta, after receiving 10 attacks, you can activate the revival skill. The art would change from when he had cracked armor to when his shirt fell off or his armor completely like withered away. I'm pretty sure it happened when he was fighting Topo. Maybe it's when he got pieced up by Jiren, but was it? I don't know. But anyway, he continues on to say revival skills act like counters. That means if it happens during the actual battle part of the turn, it'll activate. What he means by this is when let's say you have a transformation, it happens at the beginning of the turn unless it's an active skill. There are not revival mechanics that are active skills or like before you do your attacks. It won't happen before you have to die to it in the middle of the turn. Like when you have no control over the game, you're just watching super attack animations. That's when stuff like that will trigger. Very interesting. I'm surprised. I don't know, characters like who would I say? I don't know, like Omega Shenron. Like I guess, like let's say he had a revival mechanic because he used Nova. Yeah, when he sort of like Nova sacrificed himself and Omega took advantage of it. And I'm surprised there's not like revival skills you can trigger that way. which would I guess would make it an active skill, but I just figured they do tricks with it. But I guess they're keeping it plain and simple. You have to die, you have to get a super attack after you meet the conditions. Like he says here, 10 attacks, etc., etc. Now, however, you cannot. Okay, let me say this: the revivals can be a transformation, but they don't have to be. They cannot deal damage, and then the as spacious for animation. Oh, huh. That seems interesting. He's saying that you can. Some of them might be able to do counters. That's odd. I don't know. It seems as though he's saying, let's say it's a Vegito unit, and he die. He does a revival mechanic. Maybe he'll turn into Super Vegito or Vegito Blue, and then he'll have a counter mechanic from there on out in the fight. Very interesting. Basically, it's a transformation, but you need to die. It seems like it is basically what this is in general. Hope I summarized this for you well. If I didn't, comment your question down below. I'll try to answer as much as I can. I'll try to answer it to the best of my ability, of course. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I'm excited to see the animations, but this is going to be an annoying mechanic to try to get. So now we have transformations, active skills, which include transformations, counters, and revival mechanics, all of which are sort of intertwined into each and every other unit in the game. Like, when's the last time we got a unit that doesn't transform as a Dokkan Fest? Yeah, me too. So let me know what you guys think, and Hitman is out.